Hello, welcome back. And of course, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracy, and this is video part 2 of my Starseed story. And I wanted to make a part 2 because I actually asked my subconscious mind during my QHHT session about the moles on my midsection in the shape of the Pleiades. So stay tuned for the answer. In my Starseed story video part 1, we went over what QHHT is, which is quantum healing hypnosis technique. And then I also shared with you some questions that I had asked about my soul's origin during my own QHHT session. Now, if you haven't seen that video, I will put a link to that one up above. So if you want to watch that one first and then come back to this one, then go ahead and do that. But the reason I wanted to make this part 2 is because I know I mentioned those moles on my midsection. And here's a little refresher from that. So in video part 1, Sharon, who is the QHHT practitioner that I went to, actually kind of got the answer out of my subconscious mind that I'm from the Pleiadean star system. And so during that session, I also asked a question to my subconscious mind about the moles. I didn't really specifically ask why are the moles in the shape of the Pleiades, and I feel like that might have been a better way to frame the question. I basically just asked what if there is a significance to the moles, and the answer that I actually received about the significance of these moles was quite interesting from my subconscious mind. Let's listen to that answer now.
She wants to know, do the moles on my midsection in the shape of the Pleiades have any significance?
The significance in any moles upon the body are similar to the significance of stars in the sky, whereas the constellations can pull personalities and outcomes to be different. Same with the constellations upon your body. Your moles are placed in certain areas to indicate certain different things. Those particular moles are just happen to be placed there for similar reason to what I just described.
Okay, so I'm a little fuzzy on that answer. Will it bring out a certain part of her personality or her gifts, or what does it do to have those moles on there?
It's similar to astrology. It's like microcosm and macrocosm in the sense that as far as you believe astrology can affect your personality, so can the moles upon your body.
Ah, okay. Well, I think she thinks they're significant, and I think she honors them. And
all are significant.
Yeah. And she honors them, and they honor her back then, I guess, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well,
so basically the answer is that those moles are actually significant based on a similar idea to astrology and the stars in the sky. So really, the moles and birthmarks that are upon your body can actually reveal certain personality traits and characteristics similar to the constellations in the sky at the time that you were born can identify certain personality traits and things like that. But on that note, I do want to point out that about a decade ago, I bought this book. It's called Moles or Birthmarks and Their Signification to Man and Woman by Maud Wheeler. Now, it's a very generic book because it was actually written in the 1800s and is out of print. So I actually ordered it on Barnes & Noble, and I got it through the legacy reprints. So it's kind of generic, but I really do enjoy the content of this book. And so just the answer that I received during the QHHT session regarding the moles really made me think about it, and made me realize that there's probably a lot of truth to that, because it's like, just like my subconscious said, it's kind of the idea of the macrocosm and microcosm. So while you are just a little part of the entire universe, there's also like an entire universe inside of you. So anyway, I want to share a little bit just from the preface of this book, Moles or Birthmarks and Their Signification to Man or Woman. And it says here, perhaps few persons know that the doctrine of moles and their signification was regarded as a science in the 17th century. And an old writer on the subject, whose work was published in 1653, asserts that the doctrine of moles is a part of physiognomy. Physiognomy? I'll put that word on the screen. Being a subject of the same nature by reason of its infinity, seeing physiognomy is nothing else than the discovery of the affections of the mind, or a knowledge arising from the consideration of the body in general, and every part thereof, and principally the face. As the interest in palmistry and physiognomy is widespread and is confined to no particular class of society, a short work on the doctrine of moles may also prove acceptable. In conclusion, let me say that the signification attached to the planets and to the moles as their birthmarks, I now offer to the reader's consideration, reserving my own judgment till experience has confirmed or falsified the influences of the stars. Maud Wheeler. So the book then goes on. It talks a little bit about astrology, and then it actually goes on to different body parts and gives the actual, like the meaning of a mole in each part. But this is actually a really cool book. I don't know if I can even verify most of my own moles or birthmarks at this point in my life, because it's almost like you have to live most of your life to know if these are true. A lot of them have to do with marriage. My personal moles, a lot of them have to do with having a happy marriage, and so far, so good on that one. But there are other moles where I would kind of have to figure it out. I know that some of my moles actually tell me that I should beware of false friends. And actually, my life has already proved that to be true. But anyway, I found it also very interesting that Maud Wheeler, in that part of the book that I just shared with you, she mentions palmistry. Now, if you don't know what palmistry is, it is the art of reading the lines on a person's palm. Now, I've actually had my palm read multiple times. I know a very nice woman who is a palm reader, and she's so gifted at this. And she's been reading palms for about 30 years. So talented, gifted at the reading, and also intuitive. And I've also had palm reading parties at my house where I invite like 10 of my friends over, and all of them get a private palm reading with her. So in all of my experience with palm readings, whether it was my own or any of my friends that I've had over to do palm readings with me, every single person who has had a palm reading by a very talented palm reader has been extremely happy with what she has said and says that she's spot on. And honestly, even if they don't give me their specific story as to why she was so correct, because it is a private matter, I'm always told that what was revealed in their hand was so very spot on. So I definitely believe in palmistry. So I don't know why the moles upon your body wouldn't also be able to give you some type of information into your life or your mind and kind of your personality. Physiognomy. Physiognomy? Physiognomy. Physiognomy. So I find this to be a very interesting subject, and I just wanted to share the answer about the moles with you guys because it was kind of a big part of my part 1 Starseed story, and I didn't want to leave the answer to that question just hanging in the air. So I thought I'd give that to you guys today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're interested, you can order this book. I ordered it from barnesandnoble.com and it came through Kessinger Legacy Reprints. I just think that that book is full of little gems of information that you really can't find anywhere else. It's very intriguing, let's put it that way. I am also excited to announce that in the near future, I am going to be interviewing Sharon Hamilton, and then I will create a video out of that interview. But I also want to include you viewers and subscribers out there. So if you have any questions for Sharon Hamilton, go ahead and put those questions in the comment section down below. Then I'll be sure to include your questions in the interview with Sharon. If you want to send your question by email, then you can email me at meaningfulmotivations@gmail.com and put in the subject line question. If you have any questions for Sharon Hamilton herself in regards to having your own QHHT session, then you can contact Sharon Hamilton at honorthyvibration@gmail.com. All right, you guys. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. More on the moles. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a like. And of course, feel free to share this video with all your friends. And if you're a viewer but not yet a subscriber, be sure to click subscribe. And if you want to receive notifications whenever I upload new videos, be sure to click the bell to be notified anytime I make new videos. Thank you guys so much for spending your time with me. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.